Hey guys, coldbrew here. Welcome back to another raid video. Hope you're all doing well today. We have Gnut Fusion going on. We're going strong for the Gnut Fusion. If you have been following each and every one of the events, you should have about 7 of the rares at the moment and going for the 8th and 9th. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I must have not missed a single one. I did not summon one for sure by accident or anything. So, yeah. Should be looking at 9 of these and at least 2 of these void rares. And then once you get the rares, you level those up and have them ready for the fusion for next weekend. I believe is when you'll need to fuse them up. You'll get the points, and the Gnut Fusion, you'll be, one step closer. And then you'll have to do also some summons, and hopefully you'll get this guy. It's just an amazing nuker. You will all see it in action once you get him, right? So that is your goal. Get the Gnut, get Gnut. and carry on. So the good thing about me is that I basically skipped collecting 4 of these by getting this guy. Does that mean I have to do the ice golem? Well, actually no, I just need to do the dungeon divers basically. Since I'm very close, since I was doing the champ training, I'm very close. I'm about 800 points away from the rare. I'll do way more than that if I try to complete the ice golems tournament, but I thought I might as well show you guys my team that I have made already. It's a pretty tanky team. It's not a fast team by any means, but it's a hard mode 10 team that utilizes HP burns. And Ice Golem is one of the most difficult dungeons, I would say, in terms of how defensive you have to go in order to survive, right? It's not the hardest one in terms of building. I would say it's okay. It's end game. The easiest one is probably Dragon, then Spider, Ice Golem, Fire Knight, if I would rank these 4 dungeons. Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun, not that important to me. But with stage 10 right there, my fastest team is like a minute 44, as you see. Lowest turns is 43, and this is my team. It utilizes HP burns, but most importantly, utilizes the high defensive capabilities of Duchess, all right, with this passive right here, and the Phantom Veil that she provides, but also decrease attack. So if you guys don't have all these champions, you're still trying to do normal for Ice Golem, decrease attack is the most important debuff that you can apply there. There's multiple champions that can apply it, right? One of the best ones that has really good value throughout is, I would say, let me just show you. It's Stag Knight, and then this guy right here, Duke the Pierced, all right? They both have the decreased attack and decreased defense debuffs that they can apply. Decreased defense is not that important because it just optimizes your gameplay when you're farming through and pushing through the waves. But decreased attack is a must-have, even for endgame accounts such as mine, where I even push a little bit on area bonuses. I added these today, like these 2 today, because I needed to push a little bit on resistances. And let me show you the team in action, and I'll explain what happens, and then we can have a look at their gear. And if you want to build something similar, you're good to go. In terms of Duchess, I just have her in my PvP gear. Kaimar is not really required, but a reset champion is required for basically Seer, right? The whole idea is to keep on attacking and surviving every one of the hits. You see the waves now. This is the standard Seer push. We see this in Dragon. We see this in Ice Golem now. We see this in all of normal dungeons almost, especially Fire Knight, Dragon, and Ice Golem. Same thing as always, guys, and especially here, you've got a 6-star Seer that I have. It's kind of an end game setup. So, thing is with Ice Golem hard 10 is that you cannot apply poisons on it, so you can't really do that big poison damage kind of teams that you used to. But if you have activators for HP burns and HP burn application champions, then you should be at a very good position. And as you see here, I've got 2. Artag, which is free, and then Drang, which is, well, almost free, right? Drang was a champion that everybody got through was it a fusion or fragment collection? Can't exactly remember, but it was something that we worked for, right? It wasn't like a lucky summon for me. I have them built for Spider, so my Spider team definitely works with these 2 guys. It works at the same time. So their speeds are maybe higher than I would want to, because, well, you don't need to have them as fast. The speed of the boss is quite fast. It would be better if they had way more health, just so, like, look at that example of my Artag being so low in terms of health. But Artag becomes tankier and tankier as he loses max HP. And basically Duchess here provides that decrease in damage, right? I don't really need the revive on Seer for it to work because she's very squishy. She dies again. My biggest issue would be Duchess getting that debuff. I could change her and put more resistance on her so that that debuff is not applied. But honestly, I don't need it, right? Look at that. 64 turns, 63 is my best time, but it's around the same speed, right? So this is the team. This is the team. You might see Artag, you might see Drank. Their damage is kind of the same. It's HP burn activation. It works very, very well. And it's a solid tanky team that you can work to get any of these pieces of gear. The bad thing about Ice Golem is that the gear sets absolutely suck. And even with the changes that they made, Retaliation maybe has jumped up a little bit in terms of usefulness because now it's a 2-piece set. I could see it being in some situations useful, but it's still 15%. I think it's quite low for a 2-piece set. I mean, the bonus, if you think about other 2-piece sets we have currently in the game and how strong they are, for example, the Cruel set, the Immortal set, although they are Clan Boss specific sets, they're still very strong. Defiant is a Forge set, so you can't really justify like a 15% chance only. Maybe if it was like a counterattack guarantee with it doing 15% of your normal damage, maybe this would be a different discussion. Anyway, I would say Provoke and Reflex are the highest, most wanted, sets from here. But me personally, I don't really hunt any of those. I don't find a use for them anywhere at the moment in the game. So that was my Ice Golem team, guys. Let me just show you the gear. Terms of speeds and everything, it's much easier to show it through here. And then you just go tanky, right? So 88,000 health with 2,900 defense on Drank, plus the aura there on the leader slot, 270 speed, 450 resistance, so we don't get the defense down debuffs and the heal reduction debuffs. I could have done that on Duchess. My Duchess basically built for the arenas, so I didn't want to change her at all. Same thing with Artag, but Artag needs to have accuracy as well for him to apply his HP burn. So we disable their skills for the first 2 rounds so that they don't use it up, and then on round 3 we have Drank. He can do the Exalted Pyre. Maybe I could have left Death's Balance there. The reason I did not leave this is because I don't really need it to survive. I think it just extends the time that I require, that I need to clear it out. And then I have the decreased attack on priority. You definitely need to land this on the boss. Even with these high stats, like high defense, high health, high resistance, so you don't get the debuffs that are even nastier, you still need a decreased attack. It's a must-have. And then, of course, my Seer is crazy in terms of the damage that she needs to push this. You don't need all of this in order to do Ice Golem. I'm just repeating. It's just a fact of the matter. For hard 10, it's a little bit more difficult and gear intensive. And you'll see Artag and Walking Tomb Drank with very similar gear. Walking Tomb Drank with Defiant, because he's not as tanky, I would say, as Artag. Defiant there helps survive a little bit. And the Regent set, Masteries, I have War Master on him, although you don't need it. Sometimes you shouldn't have it, especially for Ice Golem, but I use him on Spider, so I have the War Masters on them. And then Regen on Artag, and as you saw before, like crazy resistance and accuracy. Well, crazy for any other part of the game, but for Ice Golem, you kind of need all that. Because of this passive right here, Artag becomes like an MVP in terms of surviving. That's why you don't need as much, I would say, of maybe the Defiant set, as I explained, like I have on my Walking Tomb Drank. But if you wanted to see what my Duchess has, she's on Bolster, Immortal, and then 3 reaction. That's because she is in my PvP teams. Pretty strong, pretty tanky, but isn't really there. She even has this mastery for the Polymorph, which with 180 accuracy barely can land it on anybody. But I haven't really bothered with that. Then the Seer is, of course, high damage. Wouldn't say you need the 6-star on her, but it definitely helps with the waves, especially if you're lacking buffs available for the team. And I didn't really bother because I knew with this whole setup that my Seer would be really good. And actually now remember, with the Crushing Rend buff, she gained an extra 5% crit damage. Amazing. All right. And then I think the final one is just Kaimar, but he is just speed and accuracy, not really built for anything specific. He's just there to do the reset, not really built for the Ice Golem. So this is the team. Now the equalizer, I can show you the team again. You farm the Ice Golem, you get your points, and that's the way to go. But if you wanted to see something more specific for the normal dungeons, guys, remember to just have, you can have a very similar setup like this with the Seer there as the clear for the waves, and then you need a decreased attack and a poisoner. Instead of the HP bearing champions you see here, you put in poisoners. One very good example is Dark Hill. I have videos of that. You can definitely check it out on my channel. And another good example is even Frozen Banshee. She can work on 25 and 24 of normal if you are planning to do Ice Golem, but they need to be tanky. As you see here, these champions need to be able to take a punch when going in this dungeon. They need to be able to take a punch in order to survive and carry on. So wow, look at that heal reduction applied to everybody. Yeah, that resist didn't really work. Good thing my drink cleansed it, but yeah, this is going maybe a little bit better. Once we get the ads down, it becomes a little bit easier to survive, because when the ads are up, the boss does way more damage based on the number of ads available, right? So make sure you take them out before you just carry on. So this is okay. The good thing is now with the equalize, maybe it helps Duchess survive in case that she would die in some situations. Then Artak also died, but we didn't have the decreased attack, I believe. That's why this was a nasty situation. 140. Actually, this was faster. All right. Interesting. It was faster run. Life set, we sell. What is this? Provoke with attack flat. Amazing. Thank you so much, Plarium. That's it, guys, for my run. This is my speed team, I would say. Again, it's not a speed team. It's not an under minute team. Maybe I could build one. I doubt it with the champions I currently have. And since it's HP burns and not poisons, you can't really do many fancy stuff with this dungeon with the champions we have at the moment, I believe. Unless you do like something like an unkillable or like a block damage team. Anyway, guys, this was the video. Thank you all for watching. And if you're a subscriber, I appreciate you. Thank you all so much. I will see you in the next video. See ya.